Okay, so a necessary part of the breeding shed, if you're, you know, going to know which bird comes from where, when, and who, is you have to track all of this stuff. And a lot of it is about dates. So I have a hatching calendar up here, which you literally, if a chick hatches on June 13th, I mean, if an egg is laid on June 13th, it'll hatch on July 1st. So you just look up what other day the egg is laid, and the next date over is the day that it will hatch. I love that. You can get them off of the ABS website under forms. I keep a calendar in here because record keeping is all about dates. So let's take a look at this. I have a card for each pair. Okay, down at the bottom we have the cock and the hen. So this will be for Haverty and Lacey. Okay. So what I have, information I have on here is when is the first egg laid. I need a date for that because I cull 12 days after the first egg is laid. So, first egg date, and then I'll look up on the calendar and write down 12 days later the cull date. The number of embryos that I want to leave in the nest for Haverty and Lacey, because they're going to raise 3 of their own chicks and foster out a 4th one. I'm going to leave 5 embryos if she has 5 embryos. So then I'm going to write first hatch, so I need to know the hatch date for the first chick. This is recording birthdays. Second hatch date, third hatch date, and the foster chick hatch date, the one that I'm going to foster out to somebody else. You'll see there's lots of room out here because over here on the side, I will end up writing down the band numbers that I put on each of those chicks. So that when they're done, I can go in and transfer that information onto my records inside. Okay, the other date to put on there is the first band date. You have to watch chicks. You can't tell exactly when it's going to be time to put a band on them. It's usually around the 8th to 10th day, sometimes as early as the 6th day, sometimes as late as the 12th, depending on the size of the chick and the size of their feet. So I will put a band date down based on the first chick's hatch date, and it will be probably 8 days out, and then I'll start haunting that nest and checking to see that everybody gets banded. When all the chicks in the nest are banded, I check the box, and then I know I don't have to look in there anymore for that. 25 days is a significant date because that is the date that I am breaking up the deadly triad. I want to keep my hen from resetting so that she'll continue to raise these babies all the way through to the end. So that means on the 25th day after the first chick's hatch date, so I gotta have that written down so I can figure out that date, I will pull the nest box and put all the chicks in the bottom of the cage on craft paper so that the hen is not tempted to reset, start laying, and abandon her chicks or neglect them until they die, or, God forbid, kill them. Some of them do that. And then the pull parents date is the 5th week birthday of the last chick hatched. So when the 3rd chick is 5 weeks old, I'll write that date down here, and that's the day I pull the parents. So all of those dates are kind of dependent on each other. I have a calendar in here, so I can, once I get that first hatch date, I can start filling in dates for everything else. I'm putting down how many embryos I want to keep, and it's going to be different for different birds. These two, this is Haverty and Lacey. I'm looking for male chicks out of them, so they're going to raise 3 of their own embryos, and I'm going to take a 4th one and foster it out to somebody that I already have a lot of chicks from. So, for instance, Buster and Rainbow. I have tons of chicks from Rainbow, so I'm going to leave them with 3 embryos, let them hatch out 2 of their own chicks, and then foster one of these guys over here. So that's why I have in here embryo. I always leave 1 more embryo than I need because of there are some that don't hatch, and there are some that don't make it through the first 24 hours. In fact, I'm kind of hoping I'm not going to have to freeze a lot of late stage eggs, because that'll kind of kill my soul. But I'll do it rather than watch them starve and have things go wrong in the nest. So anyway, so I have this planned out. This is Hardy and Lilith. I am looking for 1 chicken 4, a female that is a Texas clear body. So I'm going to save as many of these babies' eggs as I can. If she gives me 6 embryos, I'm keeping all 6 of them. I'll leave them to hatch out 3 and foster out 2 more. Because the chances of me getting what I need out of them the first time around I try are not great. But they get better the more embryos I can keep. So yeah, I have 3 of these. I have 1 of these for each stack. So say this is Buster and Rainbow, and then which is going to be right here, and then the next one down will be Limey and Luscious right there, and then the next one down will be Neon and Angel down on the bottom, and then this one is the next stack over, and this one is the next stack over. So there's definitely a certain level of organization going here, and especially tracking those dates. It is hugely important to track dates such as cull date. You know, such as when do those chicks hatch? Because when I band them is 8 days after they hatch, and when I pull the nest box is 25 days after they hatch, and when I pull the parents is 5 weeks after they hatch. So I have to have those hatch dates because all the other dates depend on it. So yeah, having all of this stuff written down is really important. Hatching calendar, regular calendar, so I can count days, and notes where I can take down all the information that I need and write down the band numbers that go on each chick, so I'll be able to identify them when I enter them into the main files. Okay, that's it.